So on behalf of the city, I want to welcome everybody here tonight. This meeting was set up for you folks, okay? So don't leave tonight without an unanswered question. I want to tell you that the city has an incredible relationship with Thrasher Engineering, and that is who we've selected for what we call this mitigation, flood mitigation project on Kentucky Road. The one thing I will tell you that you must leave with today is patience, because I don't have them anymore. I'm asking you to have them, because to me this stuff should have happened yesterday, okay? The funds have been appropriated, but there's a process we have to go through that's required by both state and federal government. We just have to do it, okay? The other thing I want to do is I want to point out Amanda. Our relationship with Region 4 Planning and Development. City has pretty much every project we do. They're a partner. They manage all the administrative process of it. And of course, then we got Jeff and Bruce here from Thrasher Engineering, which we're going to ask them to give an overview of where we're at. And then we're going to turn them loose to you all and ask all the questions you want to ask. Again, they're like we are. They wish this was done. It should, in my opinion, it should be done. Ironically, I was first elected in 2007, and just straight up, this is a project that in 2007 we had state engineers on site. Jeff, you all remember. I mean, some of you all will remember this. Some of you have been there for a while, and it's just drug on, but we finally have the funds acquired. Now we just have to go through the legal process to design and then go to construction, and these guys are going to fill you in on that today, okay? So again, thanks for coming out. I also want to highlight, got a lot of my colleagues here tonight, City Council, City Recorder, and then of course the Superintendent from the city. So we do care. What you've been going through is a nightmare. It's awful. I mean, and you got to know that we don't want in your neighborhood what we don't want in our neighborhood. And so that's what this is all about, is trying to help you all and fix this problem once and for all. And then I think you're going to find out tonight that no matter what we do, we can't totally alleviate the problem, which we can anywhere in the city. There are 100 and 1,000-year floods that there's just nothing we can do about. But what we need to do is bring you peace of mind that when we have regular rainfall, you don't deal and endure with what you do, okay? So with that said, Amanda, am I turning it over to you or turning it over to Jeff and Bruce?
We can turn it over to
okay.
Jeff.
Guys, appreciate you coming out tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for the introduction. Like I said, I'm Jeff Gold with Thrasher. Bruce is my right-hand man here. So I'm going to briefly walk through it. I'm going to kind of walk through how we went about this study in this area. And then we'll kind of show you what our proposed plans are. And obviously what we're trying to get here today is hear from you guys, because like I mentioned, some of these folks, I've been down here, whether intentional or unintentional, through Somersville when it was flooding, and I can see what's happening, but I don't see what happens on a daily basis. I only see what I'm here to see, right, at certain times. But to start off with, and sometimes this brings a little light stuff, Kentucky Road, what we're focusing on, and you guys may be aware, maybe not, but when you look at the topography of it, there's about 200 acres of drainage area, water that comes to you guys above Webster Road. So here's Webster Road, here you guys are. Up here, there's over 200 acres that drains to that, 2 culverts, one by the church, one over here that goes out of this pond. All that water, 200 acres is a lot. That's a lot of water. And thankfully, this is not fully developed. Some places, it would be, this isn't. So it does slow down. All this water goes underneath Webster Road by an 18-inch pipe, and 2 18-inch pipes really what it is. Now, some people would think that's a bad thing. In my thinking, it's a good thing. Webster Road's almost serving as a little bit of a control for you guys. You imagine if that thing was wide open, all that water would have a direct effect right down Kentucky Road. So I'll ask you guys, have you guys seen Webster Road actually overtopped and flooded ever? Anybody? Have you? Is it predominant or just once in a blue moon?
Yeah, once in a blue moon.
Yeah. And that's a good thing for you guys, because I always tell people, a lot of people think, put a bigger culvert in. But what about your neighbor? Because if you put a bigger culvert in, that means they're getting more water this time. So you got to be really careful when you say put bigger culverts in, because you could flood someone who never got flooded. You may be smiling, but your neighbor may not be smiling. So right now, Webster Road is actually helping us a little bit, because it's slowing it down a little bit, and that's a good thing. The rest of us starts coming down the stream. It comes into a little spot, and I'll show up a little blow up over there. Comes down, and this comes down by the church. And if you guys drove down, you live there, right? When you come down Webster Road, it's almost a little bit comical. You come down and there's this itty bitty grate sitting right there. It's 2 by 2. It's no bigger than this carpet tile, literally. And that's a lot of water trying to get in a little piece. But we're resolving that. That's just pure common sense, right? The bigger, in this situation, the water's still getting to the same location. It's just finding its own path. And that's not good. As I was telling some of these people, where I live at, it floods. But I know where it floods every time. I know where the road floods. I know what to stay away from. But right now, there's no direction for this water to go. It goes wherever it wants to go. Kind of helter-skelter. It goes this way, that way, your front yard, this side. We're getting that water in the pipe so we can get it to the stream. Makes sense, you guys? We're trying to get it collected and get it in and out. So everyone knows what we're trying to do to get it in and out. So as you go down through here, you have a rock line ditch. So we're proposing to put pipe in this to get it all inside pipe. 2 things happen with that. Out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see water, you know there's a problem, right? You see it in the pipe, you don't see it anymore. Second thing happens is, when you get into a pipe, it actually gets the water moving a little bit faster. In other words, that water may relieve itself a little bit quicker. So when the other water catches up, that water's already going already. Right now, there's no defined path, so it just, boom, it's there. And it all catches up at the same time. So we're trying to kind of, it's like turn the faucet a little bit higher so you get more out, or open the valve a little more up. So that's what these pipes are going to do for you. And like I said, I'm kind of preaching to the choir with you guys. You live here, you see it. You get down here, and I'm not trying to belittle what's out there now. Sometimes you do with what you have, right? You make do with what you have available to you. But there's just a Mod Podge of pipes. There's 12-inch pipes, there's 24-inch pipes, there's a couple barrels. They're all undersized. And that's really, in my eyes, and you guys obviously can speak for yourselves, but the water just can't get to where it wants to get to because the pipes are too small. So we're proposing to put a series of pipes and bigger culverts. The DOH did their best back in 16 when all this road out to open this back up for a road. It's a 30-some inch pipe. That's not nearly big enough, not when there's 2 pipes here bigger than that one. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're proposing to put a box culvert in. A box culvert helps you because structurally it's more sound. You can go wider and shallower. You can get more water through. Our goal is to get more water into the channel. Now, the person who sits there, the houses who face the channel must say, well, that's more water for us. Not really, because the water always got there. It just didn't know how to get there. We're trying to get it there and get it through faster. Also, this project has us looking at that channel. You know, permitting wise, we're trying to stay out of the stream. When I say stream, down in the middle of it. But we can help the sides. I think you guys alluded to there's some issues with the side slopes. We don't protect that because if that side slope slides, guess what happens? It becomes dam. Where's that water going to go? It's going to someone's house. First, I want to say, if I talk too fast, tell me to slow down. I get excited and I start talking. I'm not trying to get out of here faster. I just start talking fast. That's a bad habit of mine. But we're going to look at, we've already walked it. Sometimes, you may have not seen me. Sometimes I try to be a little bit sneaky where I don't want to interrupt your daily things. Sometimes you guys are at work. I've walked down the stream before. We've surveyed it. I've kind of looked at places. There's areas that we can improve on the side slopes with some stabilization, protect it. We really want to get the water in and water out. I came here, it was probably, it was a few months ago. It was a bad storm. I was in Oak Hill. It was flooding there. On the way back, I was like, I'm going to stop by Somerville. And I couldn't make it down Kentucky Road because it was flooding there. So I drove around, came up Arbuckle, and like I told some of the folks, I was amazed. There was no water down the other end of Arbuckle. It was like it was just a nice breezy day. I drove up a little farther, and it looked like a disaster area. And then it just reassured me that the problem's here. The problem is right here. If we can get the water down the stream, it'll relieve itself. It just can't do it. So what I'm trying to walk you through is big drainage area. We have some things helping us. Webster Road's actually helping us a little bit. We are trying to get it into pipes, into defined channels. We're trying to clean the debris and ditches to have a better uniform flow. It gets down. Now I'm kind of felt like I'm Vanna White here, walking across here. But one thing I want to show you here, we ran a model of the stream. And we did that for a couple of reasons. And the mayor alluded to this before. We can't solve every problem because, as you guys well are, we design for a set of standards. A 100-year storm and a 24-hour period. For this area, it's like 5.5 inches of rain in 24 hours. You guys may be well aware of it. We've been getting 3 inches of rain in 2 hours. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. We can't actually examine that because we couldn't afford it. But what we wanted to prove with this little detail here is we ran a cross-section and hydraulics of the stream. And most of the folks that went down through here, the 100-year floodplain definitely will get out of, 100-year flood storm will get out, but it doesn't necessarily get in your house from our model. And I think some of you guys alluded to it, hasn't really got into your house, but got up to it. And thankfully, and I say thankfully because you're not in the floodplain, and that's a good thing for you guys because if heaven forbid something would happen, you're not in the floodplain, so you don't have to get insurance and all that stuff, so you're still good in that respect. But every channel and stream has a limit. A ditch has a limit. You could live on a mountain and a 100-year storm could have an effect on you because your downspouts could go bad. There's always something. But we also show like a 1-year storm, which is what I call the nuisance storms. The storms are just a pain in the rear. They happen often. If they're not in pipe and they're not controlled, they just cause debris and clean your driveway, get the rock out, you know, all that stuff that whether you're watching a TV show, but up there you're cleaning your driveway off. Those stay in the channel, but we got to get the water to the channel. And that's really, in my eyes, and that's one thing we wanted to bring it to your guys' attention, and the mayor made a good point. They've been working on this for a long time. And I don't want to say we have one shot at it, but it's not every day you get so-called free money to do this. So we want to make sure, and this is the reason for this meeting, that we don't want to leave tonight or build something I woulda, shoulda, coulda thing, where I was like, I wish someone would have said something because I would have fixed it while I can. And our goal is to stretch every dollar. And we're going to set ourselves up. We're going to try to build everything here, and I'm confident we are. But we're going to make sure we set up the main things, the main trunk lines, so that it's there. No one can say, well, why'd you put this top part in and not the bottom? No, we're going to put the infrastructure in and go stretch it as far as we can. So we're going to try to make every improvement, but we're setting ourselves up so that if we would want to add another inlet up this hill, for instance, we have the pipe size to handle it. You know, that makes sense, you guys? We don't want to undersize something now. And I was telling one of the folks here in 16, I remember coming here after the storm, and I could almost walk in this channel off this street. There was a rock thing, it had rutted out. I can remember, I'm not very tall, so I get criticized for that. I could stand in the channel, and I'm thinking, whoa, that storm was horrendous. Since it's been fixed, but I've been out there several times where water still gushes. For that instance, we're actually going to put a pipe up with an open culvert at the end, so that water goes directly into it. It's like a dog running through a tunnel. Inlets are great, but if they get leaves on them, what are you going to do? You can't have someone out there every day cleaning it. But I also say, and I say this to myself where I live out in the country, sometimes you got to be a good neighbor. If during the fall, leaves fall. If you see the leaves covered up, give someone a call. Try to get someone out there to take the leaves away. Because, and I'm not saying any of you guys can do that, but I'm just saying myself, I have a tree that fell down in my meadow. It's in the creek. I've stared at it 3 times now since I drove home, and I'm telling myself this weekend I need to kick it out. Because if it rains hard, and it floods my meadow, whose fault is that? Well, it's probably mine, because I should have took the tree out of the creek. So same thing I always say to you guys, is if you see something like that, I'm sure you guys are good advocates of that, but don't be bashful. Call the Department of Highways, no offense, call the mayor. But what I'm saying, I'm just teasing there. But I'm just saying is, it helps that. If it goes neglect and no one knows about it, then it's kind of hard to complain about it. Make sense to you guys? But I always say this, these rain events, they're hard to analyze because it depends on the year. You could have a snowstorm, snow could be on the ground, it can warm up like these crazy weather we have. You get a good rain, no one can design for that. You could have middle of fall, or right now, it's supposed to rain tonight, and you have a bad windstorm, trees and leaves can fall over, the inlets and culverts can be picked up. So as an engineer, I do this all the time. It's like, I've been criticized. Oh, you undersized. Like, yeah, but I didn't anticipate a tree blocking the culvert. I mean, I didn't anticipate that. But we got to put our best foot forward, design it based the best we can. And yes, there are going to be situations that we can't control, but we're really trying to dissolve the nuisance storms. That you can sleep good at night knowing that, you know, when you hear the rain falling at night, we're not calling for big storms, the water's going to get it, go down the stream, go down the road, and you can drive down your road, drive in your front door, drive in your driveway. You don't have to worry about cleaning up afterwards, and you can wake up with smiles and move on the next day. I always say this when I'm talking. I don't want to hear myself talk, but basically, that's what we're trying to do, guys. We're trying to clean up Tucky Road, get it in pipe. One of the emails I got, and it's one of the residents, and I got a kick out of it because his email, and I'm not making fun of him, I'm being honest, it was like, easy fix. And I can't think of the guy's name. And he brought it up, and I laughed. I laughed at a good thing because his fix was that. So I'm like, good. Someone seen what I seen, even though I don't live there, and it kind of made me feel better about even coming tonight. Because I felt like someone saw what I saw, and I wasn't coming into a blindfolded. What I saw was someone else saw that lived there for X amount of years, and we're on the right path. Our goal is to get started construction in spring. This is probably about a 6-month construction season. We're not talking about crazy stuff here. Just to give you guys, not to get down the weeds. Material, that's the biggest thing we got to worry about. We can get pipe in 2 weeks, box culverts, inlets, anything concrete takes several more weeks. So our goal is to get construction or bids out spring, get everything ordered, get it in here. Hopefully snow's done flying by April. We have full rain this summer to get this thing done. And by this time next year or way before that, you won't be hearing from me again because it'll all be in place. And then maybe we'll start looking for the next pot of money. And maybe it won't take 16 years or whatever it was. But I brought Bruce here just for moral support. If I start talking too much or I lost my voice, he'd pick up. I mean, he didn't care. I don't think it bothers him at all. But having with that, unless, like I said, I'm here to answer questions. Feel free. No question I won't take. If I can't answer today, I'll get back with you with the answer. But however you guys.
Yeah, good. What's the total cost?
Total cost. So the grant for this, and Amanda, you can quote me. I think was construction's around $800,000.
Yeah. So the total project cost was $1,042,000.
So in that, you got to take out all the other different administration, all the other stuff that goes with it. But all in all, we have about plus or minus $800,000 to construct it, construction money. And based on our estimates, you can build this for this. Build what you see, you can build that, and we're going to try to stretch it even farther.
So you will start from Webster Road and come down?
Well, so I've always generally start, we can to some point, my first starting, I'm sorry if I get, I like to start here at this first culvert because it's too small out. So we do this box, we're going to design the whole thing and get it all constructed. With contractors, I can only tell them, so to answer your question, we want to build the whole thing into plans. As far as where they start and stop, I can only tell them so much because it's a means and method. My goal would be to begin with that culvert and get that first system in. They can have 2 crews really and almost work independently. But like I mentioned earlier, if you get this in here first, if we open this up and water is flowing pretty good and we still have this pinch point, then you guys are still going to have the same problem again. So open this up first. Then when we get this going, you have a good place for it to go. Make sense to you guys? So, but it's a means and method, but this project, it's really more like a utility project, like you see a sewer or water line. If you guys seen this go in place in town, that's very essentially what this is going to be like, other than bigger pipe. Same type of project. Other than sewer, it's going to be stormwater, which obviously is a little bigger pipe, but the whole thing would be getting built, but we'd start there. And then as far as like the debris and the slope stabilization, anything like that, that could happen anytime. Because that's more preventative stuff than it is getting the water flow.
I'm having a little bit of trouble with the map.
Yeah.
Where is the uppermost part where construction will start?
It would be.
Describe that to us.
I'll bring it over to you. It's going to
In
be
reference to
Webster Road.
Webster
Road. Yeah, so I've had a projector about there, just be easier to see this way. So Webster Road right here, so it comes across Webster Road right by the church parking lot. It's pipe, and then you go all up Rock Gutter down through there. Then you have this little itty bitty inlet down here that doesn't really serve a purpose. Right now, on the left-hand side, or I guess it'd be the northern side, there's nothing, no ditch, nothing. We're gonna start up here and bring it all down, cross the road to where this stream comes down, get back in this channel and bring it back to the main stream.
What about back underneath the road? Is that culvert big enough to handle?
This one here?
No, when you come down like more towards on Kentucky where they live.
This is Webster.
Yeah, Webster Road. So we're replacing this culvert here.
Okay, so this is
This is the.
that's the church.
Yeah.
That's the church.
Yeah.
This is Kentucky Road.
Correct.
Yeah. So when you come down here and you bring it this way, what about bringing it back across then on down?
Well, one reason why we kept it on this side is because of your water and your utilities from the side, so we didn't want to get to all. That's why we actually changed to a smaller pipe on this side. So we're taking this water across and getting it back over because we had problems getting all the utilities, gas and the water all on that same side. There's just too much stuff and the cost, but
Okay, so you show them all this water, you show this coming here and it stops.
we go back to the open channel now.
Okay.
And then it comes back out. Now we're going to our van pat channel and that's.
So you're gonna dig this out, this is gonna be dug out, and it's gonna come back down here, okay?
We actually had, Mayor, to be honest with you, we have one plan, it's all about with the environment. I like to pipe it down through there, and shallow ditch. But, I'm gonna be honest with you, if that can't happen, we're gonna clean that, fix it as best we can, and keep it open. I would prefer to have a pipe in there, but I also don't want to, and that's what I kind of said before, I think the ditch would generally work, but I don't want to hinder the whole project.
So there's not a very big ditch right now, right here.
Yeah, we would clean
So,
that out.
okay, because otherwise what you're gonna have is, if this isn't big enough to handle this, it's gonna be coming running over on.
No, we're not making, this will not be, it's either gonna be pipe or ditched.
Okay.
And the ditch will have to equal the same capacity of the pipe, otherwise we'll just form ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, so you're, good question. So you're going, we've had pipe there.
See, because before, when we, clear back, when we dealt with state engineers, they were looking at bringing it here, and then back under here, and then down.
Yeah, so we looked at, the problem you have with that is, and
The utilities.
well, the utilities is one thing, but it's kind of flat over here, so here's another reason too. I don't like having all this water coming between 90 right to this person's front yard, because here, we're getting the structure make 90. When you have all this water coming down and hitting a 90 and making a right, yeah, it's not good. You know what I mean? It's going to want to jump. So, yeah, so what we're trying to do is get this water and kind of make it flow, so it will flow directly in the channel and stay in the channel versus, but the utilities are the biggest issue here. We had one run all the way out through here. We just can't get utilities. We be repairing everything through up here, so we said, okay, let's run it back here like the old path is, we'll fix this channel here and go to a 24-inch pipe, which is less water.
So when you dump this all off in here, it comes down in there behind their house. Is all that good to go? I mean.
Yeah, the only thing I mentioned, those are the pictures there. We want to walk it again, because every time you walk the changes, we're going to look at any slopes, stabilization of that thing. Is there any place where the slopes are stable because if there falls, we'll be stuck. But the channel itself is adequate with water. Right now, the water's not getting there correctly, it's fine. And that's the biggest issue.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure, yeah, sorry.
Because I'm not at the end where the project, I'm at the other end.
You're at
I don't want to get all of these.
Well, like I said, you won't get any more water. The biggest thing, all the water gets to that channel now. It just goes to people's front yards and to the sides and all that. So all we're trying to do is get the water out those folks.
Okay,
So to answer your question, that's why I said earlier, you're correct. The same amount of water is still getting to you. It's just, the folks up there, it's not taking the each type of distance, it's going to the yards. So you look down below. So where do you live at?
I live on, right by Ponderosa. So Ponderosa, where's that? There's your.
It runs out on that one. I think you gotta get another one. Yeah.
I got to work.
No, wait, no.
So I haven't stopped everything.
Okay, so here's,
Yeah,
So I'm.
so you're right in it.
So here's
And that's the other thing, so we don't want to make it, we don't want to undermine it. So that's why we're taking the stream back, so we don't want to
Right.
undermine it.
so is that culvert there, southern sides, do you see water bubbling up there, do you see it?
Oh, and all those doors up to the sewer line. And it's, whatever debris comes down that creek stops at my sewer line.
Well, we looked at it,
That should get fixed, like we said,
I
I'll
looked at
show
this culvert,
if you'd
and
said
then
it's
I
like
walked
2
down,
foot,
I'm not sure, there's
5
a lot of
foot,
stuff.
2 to 1 for 4 foot deep. So
Right.
And then
it's going to get bigger, just
Bridge area, there's just
up here.
Right.
But hopefully it just goes back to the original there.
So,
That's
so
all.
basically, our,
This is our.
there's an old walking,
Not making it.
Right.
it's a casing there. But
See,
Right now,
it's
it's like it
never
handled it
down
before.
in my place.
Well,
Before as we said,
Well, we'll look at
Okay,
it,
yeah,
I'll
so-
look at it a few times, I reached out to them, and I did.
yeah, we'll
see
try.
It's all comparison, right? Compared to this, it's
So
not
maybe
as
we'll go
bad,
out there
but
and
then
find
again,
the
you're the
widest
one that lives here.
section.
Right.
We will
Like I said,
analyze
maybe
that again, because at
5
one
foot.
time, I was replacing that.
What we'll do is we'll show typical contract.
Right,
5 foot,
because
2
that's
sides,
what
so
I
it's like-
see,
we
is
want that
when,
back.
when, it doesn't stay
So
like
like wherever we
long
see it
period
fluffed
of
in, we just have to
time,
fix those
but it
spots.
comes flooding out of this open lot.
I don't, we
and
didn't
just
plan on
comes
making it
pouring
any bigger
down
anywhere else, right?
to
Just
that
big as it
creek
used to
there,
be.
and then I
Yeah,
get so much
yeah,
around
yeah.
here.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
way
yeah,
another
there's no
pipe.
chance.
Right, and that really washes away this whole area, so my land is getting washed away.
So those are good things for me to know, because what we'll do is we'll go back out and look at this area here, and look
Well,
at these two
probably
areas.
just a little bit.
And like I told some of the folks,
Hopefully,
we want to solve the
pipe
problems that happen.
won't be
We need to,
right, and
you know,
rock
say
and
rock
everything.
here,
If we
big
rock-
rock. We
most
need
of it's gonna be back to
eliminate
rock,
a
right?
short piece of
That's
pipe
what
here
picks
that's
up the
still able to
sediment
function.
erosion.
Come out here and spend a little money here. It's not-
You guys get a
So
lot,
they
I
did
think,
come out, I
in
know
the
when
driving
they did the
that's
survey,
just
just
rock
did.
and sediment
Okay.
from the ditches.
So,
So now it's all
there
gonna
was
be
a
in
survey
pipe.
marker in
So
my
hopefully we don't
land.
get you.
What did that mean? What did that
Sometimes it's just
represent?
more control, so in other words, when they
It's not
service.
there now, sorry.
Yeah, well, no. When they,
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They
That's what I'm
have people
saying.
picking their equipment up.
Right.
We don't have
Sometimes
that.
they'll set a stake
So
in
that's why we
someone's
see-
yard so they can set back up.
Doing the same thing we did for the
Oh.
This is that street you made that
Oh,
joke.
okay.
Short walk. So he saw that one.
You probably had a good
He
line
didn't
of
see
sight,
it.
so you can sit in your yard and look all the way.
Yes, no, I did, I do, and that's where the creek is really broad.
So they probably sat there and shot up the road and shot down the road. They just,
Oh, okay.
that's all it was.
Oh,
So you
And I
take
guess
it
the
out
question
there,
is,
it's
like he
the,
said,
Oh,
our
okay.
guys probably should have took it out,
probably need to go
but
up
they
farther.
use a guide
She
to
says,
know where to go
does it
back.
actually cross with
Right.
East Street?
Yeah.
It does, so it comes from the other side.
Yeah, you want to ask a question? Sure. I don't know if I can answer, I'll
Oh, that's all right.
It's easier for me to see it with the question.
Because it's a DOH ditch,
Okay.
kind of repair back to what it was. So, but we don't plan on digging that any
Yes,
deeper.
sir.
And we probably couldn't anyway, because then we chase it to the side, right? So, but
It does.
if it fluffed off, that would take it. And then, like I said, depending on money, that's where it's saying, we'll add rock and we'll keep going with it.
This couple of years always held it.
But
this,
now her land,
But this was stepping up a little bit this year.
She's got-
Yeah.
she's lost land up to her house
Yeah,
almost,
and
because it's gone in the
that part
creek.
is next.
And what
Fix
the
this,
creek did,
see where it
gone
is.
down into the
For
creek.
sure.
And
Keep
filled
on,
it
and
up.
most likely,
This one here has taken.
before we do
all the
that, we probably
sides
start coming
down.
out here and probably
I noticed
On
that.
We're
East
rock,
Road,
we're brick, right?
where I
We
see
like
roots
start
up, huge
trying to
roots
make that
from the trees right
It depends
there.
where it lies, once we do the rest of it.
But the guy.
So when I walked this the other day,
Yeah.
why would I
All that,
see where, I mean, this is,
I have
this is
met
George,
him
George,
right there.
Yeah, the gas company.
Yes, and you know if I can find out.
So-
Oh, yeah,
So
so,
it's gonna take them months to get on their calendar.
yeah, I got you now, yeah, so how that works with
We
them
have
guys,
that way,
we did a
so-
Mississippi call already, they know about the job, we gotta go, they don't know when we're gonna
We can
start,
only
because
get-
time to last.
Like
But
an
we always
18-inch pipe.
notify them ahead of
It's
time.
about the biggest we
Or
can get.
after tonight, our next process is to get
It
reel
really
everybody
wasn't
in.
helping us as much
Because
as it
what I
did.
don't wanna do is go.
Because
to a
it's
bunch of
shallow,
people
by the time we go to
And we
the
change everything and
slope,
we're going in
start
circles.
trouble getting-
So all your guys' information tonight's gonna be put back in these.
And we can get more.
And I'm just gonna be straight, we're gonna try, we only have so much money.
No,
And we're gonna
still
try
be
the best we
amazing.
can.
Okay.
So I'm listening to you guys, I'm
Still do
not,
it.
can't make promises, but we're gonna try to stretch as far as we
And we
can.
had an option,
The heavy of it is
but for now, we have it clean, fixing to get over the ditch.
And then it comes
The goal
across the
is,
road here.
once we fix
It
this,
comes
issue
to
on
the
our
road.
Or
get
reach east
Yeah.
and
I
west.
heard water.
It's on this side.
It was.
I've got pictures.
Oh, I believe you, I can
Now,
believe
new is,
Yeah.
but I walked in and I said, and I knew that that's where they were going.
it just floods through here, when it drops over here, it just pours. And all the.
I'm not-
Yeah,
We're trying, that's what-
It was, we almost ran it down that side. You never get anything. Still get around the railing. Right,
Part of your,
What's your grub rate
you're
back?
gonna find what I think's happening. Part of the problem is, you get size here is the water,
So no matter
it's
what
backed
we
up
have,
and it goes across the road to the rest of the person's yard.
That is,
And what we're trying to do is,
now this, we should fix.
I hope it don't go across the road at all, but
The road.
we have inlets on this side now.
So hopefully
So if it
anything-
would cross the road or some crazy storm, and get back in this pipe and get back
You
in
think
there.
it is? I ain't saying no, because we might be able to put
So
it.
we're,
Because I never got that.
well, we take all kinds of, we fly this all the time, so it may be, you know, but.
Ditches is always gonna hold more.
Maybe that's what we're for. There you go. Yeah, so we've walked it straight on, yeah, definitely what you're talking about right here, I've seen it right here. And there's actually, there was a tree there one time. Yeah.
You can see that.
2 years ago. Stabilize that regular stairs, and what our goal is to get that water around that stream. Water. Oh, yeah, well, and honestly, we don't want to change the stream or modify it too much, because that's just. It's a retaining wall. No, it just, they do it because the charge works. It just needs to be warmed up a little bit, get water to it, and the temperature's saying,
I was gonna say, so it's like,
get it in the
I was gonna say, take it out.
Yeah, it's evolved, so we're right now 30 years behind, working on putting wider, wider channels so the water goes straight out. Well, it should help her. This is going to be bigger, the water should go out of the ditch. It should go straight in the channel and make a turn.
You're gonna have to very open
Open-ended,
ended.
we'll have some water going out.
The street, then. Those are the two places.
That's what that's the goal. I appreciate,
Well, I like that.
Merry Christmas.
This new channel that all.
We're about to turn it done. I mean, we want to move on to the next one, you know what I mean?
Then all that.
Well, and once you get the money, you can go back.
And that's the same reason, like, get it, like, get it out, get it.
Anything further down the creek.
Well, what, yeah, look, you can only do so much with the creek because it's a back. You gotta be careful you don't do, the Corps of Engineers don't do so much to that creek because, and then you gotta, once you mess with the stream, you gotta start, if you mess with the stream, you gotta double what you do. And then you take your property, and then kind of crazy. So, that's where you said, sometimes in a stream like that, say this.
DOH is and that's where
You can only do the best you can. Could you get flooded?
we do
Yes.
4% of things. It's slow to do.
But then it will not be that source of water.
Didn't you say it's top Webster Road in control? Once that happens, then it's over.
That's going to be a storm.
It seems to me that
So there's a-
Yeah.
because now it's dispersing everywhere.
So until it overtops, it's controlled. It helps us out. It's helping us out.
It just goes to, none of these are ponds, they're all going to their yard. Yeah, these little pieces. Then once it gets to this, water, it just takes.
So it's helping you out.
Well, that's what I'm.
The ones on the Webster Road, yeah, we ain't touching this. Don't. It's always holding back.
Yeah, the one thing I always tell people, and I'm not trying to cover my butt, every story is so unique that I can't always pinpoint exactly what happened, because I've jokingly, if something happens out here, you know, water, if something gets blocked up, we get more rain in this short period of time it happens, a lot of times about time. And I firmly believe that if we get the water pipe out, the water will be dissipated in time. The first flush, it'll be flushed out. Right now, it just all gets there at the same time because there's no good change. And when it all gets there, it's like 1 + 1 = 2, but we're trying to go 1.5. Get the 1 through and the half will come
When
up.
you're in the neighborhood, you don't want to be nobody.
So, yeah, so we're trying our best.
Well,
We
probably, obviously, try to get the claims out quicker. DOH, since it's still.
Established for this project.
No, they want to put you on the road.
Yeah.
Something else
Post down
happened.
lane. So it was like, yeah, we should just push it out.
Something else happened at the other end.
Contractor started.
Yeah, so but any of this money, and it doesn't matter whether it's water, stormwater, sewage, they give you so much in one plan, and because this stuff takes long, money,
It's easier.
things go up fast. You guys know that when you go to storm rates. Well, we're going to stretch dollars as far as we can, and then we'll set up for any of these shops. We're not going to forget about it. We know where those are, we're trying our best to do it. We can always start.
That's where he said. So that's where I said, we were. No matter what, that grant's gonna have to.
Well, we can stabilize that bank to a certain point. We have to be careful how far we go for property, because what we don't want to do is,
I couldn't get it anywhere.
we can be careful with this. You don't look like you're favoring somebody. We can fix what we can fix, but we can't just go too crazy, because someone's gonna say, well, it's not my house. And we're just- Yeah. So we have to look at it. We can stabilize to a certain point, we just gotta be cautious of public money that we don't spend. It doesn't, I don't say that. I want to do it, but everyone can think. I'm not saying we're not, but I'm having my job. Hey, you fix things and fix things. We're going to do our best to try to make out change uniforms and water goes where it's supposed to go. Did you? Thank you.
It's always tough. Houses built in low areas, because it is just a low area.
It's all fields and.
So, you catch him busy.
Nah, they're just talking about, we probably need to do he said in Brunswick, he said in Brunswick, one pan, pretty much with High Street. Flip it, I said, we're just married over there.
We came up, we make him a little further up.
Yeah, I didn't know, well, that's what they were not, he said flips across.
Well, that would help too, because that water now she's done this corner, so we can get some of that in this pipe. That'll help.
So yeah, that's what he said, I didn't realize it put behind that.
Yeah, it comes back here, and there's supposed to be a tree there, the tree, I think got taken out or something, that kind of roots in that. And I knew that pipe, so we were going to try to stabilize that corner so the water would not be way more, but if we can get that.
If we get out before and then fix the stream like you said.
We're going to solve the best we can.
That doesn't seem like
Okay, folks, again, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight is not the do-all, be-all. If you leave out of here and you think of something that you forgot to ask or say, we encourage you to reach out to us. As Jeff has appropriately stated, the design phase is getting ready to come to an end. And then in the spring, we hope to put it out to bid. And then, of course, late spring, early summer, we hope to have it out to construction. So there's still time. Thanks for coming out tonight. I hope that your questions have been answered. Again, we want to stress that, even I think, ma'am, you were asking, this is like phase one. When we get this done, if we realize that this has caused or promulgated some other issue, then it's time to move on for some more funds to do what maybe we call phase two. Anyway, when you leave out of here tonight, if you think of anything that maybe you didn't express to the engineers, please reach out to us. You can either call the city, Region 4. I think there was contact information for Amanda. Is that right, on that notice that we delivered? So all you got to do is reach out to Amanda if you think of something you failed to mention tonight, and then we'll make sure that it's certainly addressed. And like Jeff has appropriately stated, you can't go away thinking tonight that all the problem's going to be solved, because it won't be. But what we're trying to do is make it to where you don't have this aggravation when we have regular rainfall. We can't do a whole lot about the big monsoons that we take on, but we certainly want to bring you all peace of mind when we have normal storms that we should be able to deal with stormwater. And that's what this project is meant to address. Okay? So with that said, again, thanks for coming out. Thank you all. And if there's anything else we could do, just please reach out to us. Thanks so much. Have a good evening. Thanks.